hate tampons. I really hate the leaking of it. I hate having something soaking up the blood and staying within me. I just hate them overall. Like, tampons are horrible things. So I'm about to buy a menstrual cup. I'm finally doing it because I'm gonna get my period within like the next 5 days. It's literally the same day that I just filmed the previous clip. I just started my period. Like, oh my god, I'm actually really scared. It's going inside. This is uncomfortable. Oh my god. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going over something that I think has been long awaited. Today we're going to be talking about menstrual cups again. Since, you know, all girl put out a menstrual cup video about 10 months ago, and in those 10 months we have surpassed 2 million views. Freaking congratulations to us and to my vagina for celebrating 1 year of being on the menstrual cup. Nowadays, there are so many products. Because of everyone being so environmentally conscious, I have not used a tampon in a year, but I gotta say, I did use it here and there. I really do mean, like, I probably got my period and I didn't have my menstrual cup with me and I had to use a tampon. So I've probably used 2 tampons within a year. Yeah. I asked you guys on Instagram to send me questions specifically about the menstrual cup and any questions that you guys had that maybe I could answer throughout my year of experience. Now, I do want to say, although I have been using it for a year, I'm not like the most professional menstrual cup user, and I probably am still doing some things wrong, but I'm gonna tell you what has worked for me and what I still struggle with, and just, you know, little tips here and there, because this is a scary new thing for a woman to do every single month, and I just want to make it easier for you guys because this has made my life easier, which is why I waited so long to make an updated video, because I wanted to actually gather a lot of experience and information. How often a day do you empty it? I remember reading that you weren't supposed to keep these things in for more than 12 hours. I'm not kidding when I say that I change my menstrual cup twice a day. When I wake up at like 7 and then I come home at 7 p.m., empty it there, wash it out, put it back in, wake up at 7 a.m., take it out. Unless I put it on wrong and it's uncomfortable and I'm leaking a lot, then I'll reinsert it, but that doesn't happen that frequently, especially because I put on panty liners, which will save your life with these menstrual cups. It's more of just a safety thing than a necessity. So I would say every 12 hours, so that's twice a day, apart from using a tampon, which is every 3 to 4 hours if you're lucky. When inserting it, does it ever feel dry? That's a really good question. I usually wet my menstrual cup, like just wash it out before inserting it, so it is already kind of wet, which helps. It doesn't feel too dry to where it hurts. It's always just lubricated enough, either by the water or my own lubricants. Can you pee with it, or do you have to take it out? This scares me because it makes me think that a lot of people still think that the vagina and the pee hole are one hole. The menstrual cup is occupying the vagina hole, which means the pee hole is very much free, and yes, I can pee with it. I'd never have a problem peeing. Is it easy to leak using it? It is easy to leak. It's just one small error that you like put it in and maybe it's like this the whole time. When you insert it, you don't just insert it and boom, you wanna wait till you're all the way in and there's still a little bit of air, and then it like locks in. And then you just twist it a little bit and then you like feel it around in here. I wish I had like a vagina example. Do you have a heavy or light period? I have a heavy period the first day or two, and then after that it's normal, average I would say, and then it gets really light. I probably wear the menstrual cup up to 5 days, and then I just use the liners because sometimes it like only fills up to like this third line, and then I'm like, dude, that's like I don't want to keep inserting and taking this out when it's only that little. I have had this all the way filled up sometimes, and it's insane. When you take it out, does or can blood spill? I'm scared of that happening. Yeah, like of course. You take it out while you're sitting on the toilet, like after you pee or whatever, immediately you just pour it out, and then you're usually like bloody. I don't know what to tell people when they're like, well, you're touching your blood and you're inside of you, and it's like, yeah, like that's the beauty of it. I love that I'm so like in touch with my own body that I am covered in my own menstrual blood. That's fucking sick, like in a cool way. How many brands did you try out until you found the right one? That's like the perfect question. This was the first one that I made the menstrual cup video vlog with. Don't recommend. It's not bad, it still works, but it's really hard for beginners. And then I tried these guys that came in 2 different sizes, which I liked and did work out for me, especially this little stem thing helped out with taking it out. This was great for heavy days, this was great for light days, but I gotta say, just inserting wise, taking out wise, and all that kind of stuff, the Diva cup just works for me. And this is not sponsored. One of these will last you for like years. I had to go through quite a few, but again, I gotta say, with these things, invest your money. Spend the $40 that you need to get the kind that's gonna give you the least amount of trouble. I'm scared to push anything inside of me. Any advice to change my mind? Your body, this thing that it does as women, is natural and is a blessing and a curse. There's no one else that's gonna know your body more than you do, and it's better to find out more about your body right now than to just never know and be scared of your own body. But I've always been really comfortable with finding out about my body, I guess. I was like, no one's gonna do this for me. I'm never gonna be more comfortable with anyone else doing this. Now I know where everything is, and now I like am more comfortable, and I feel almost more confident because I am able to like put something in and out of my vagina so professionally. But trust me, like I was terrified when I first put it in. Do your research and find out about the anatomy before. Just Google images, Google articles. The more you know, the less you'll be scared. There's no dumb questions on the internet. Research a lot. That's what made me feel really comfortable and be like, oh, a lot of women have dealt with this same exact thing. I'm not alone. Is it dangerous if I use it for 1 period straight without cleaning? Just thinking about traveling. I guess what you could do is just like wipe it out with toilet paper. That's like the closest thing, because sometimes I really just do wash it out. I don't use soap every single time that I wash it out. At times I have just wiped it out and then just inserted it again, and it works. I wouldn't say keeping it all the way straight like that whole week of your period, if that's what you're asking, but I don't think that's what you're asking. As long as you wash it out with water. Water is actually the cleanest thing to clean out your vagina. Now, this is a good question that I want to address. Somebody said, I want to try it, but I'm embarrassed to clean it out in public. For example, a restaurant. A lot of women bring this up to me and they're like, where am I gonna change it? I get really aggressive with these things. When people ask this question, I'm just like, yo, I actually never, ever, 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 never have to change it out in public. I go home and I am home at least once a day, and that is when I change my menstrual cup. The only time I would say you would have to change it out in public is if you're really that full, like your menstrual cup is that full and you are leaking that much, but that just means you timed it wrong, because your menstrual cup should last you 12 hours or even more. Again, personal experience, I time it to work for me to where I never have to change my menstrual cup at work, at a restaurant, out with friends, at a friend's house, anywhere other than my own restroom. I guess that's like, I get why people would not understand that, because they're thinking tampons and they're thinking I have to change my tampon every 3 to 4 hours. So how do I do that with a menstrual cup? The beauty of a menstrual cup is that you don't have to change it so much, because a tampon only absorbs 2-3 hours worth of blood. Whereas a menstrual cup, it's not absorbing anything, it's just keeping it in here. This is enough for 12 hours. So I think just time it out to the best of your ability to where you don't have to ever change it in a public restroom. And even if you do, that's okay. Because listen to me, I and you and everyone, women need to be more comfortable with their period, okay? And that's just the way it is. Doesn't it get slippery while taking it out? I've definitely experienced that, where my menstrual cup, I think, has like fallen in the toilet. I don't know if it was when I was taking it out or inserting it. It's not that slippery. You use like about 3 fingers to take it out, so, and then yeah, but the blood is like very slippery. So yeah, I guess it would be slippery, but not to where it's like you're in a freaking slip and slide and like about to it just pops out of your hand. How the f does it work and feel? It works great and it feels like nothing. Is it hard to walk with? Absolutely not, unless I have inserted it wrong, and that's how I know, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel right. Sometimes I do open it up way too soon and to where it's like too close to the surface, and that's when, you know, it's too far down. Your video inspired me to buy and use one, but my flow is so heavy, I'm getting so frustrated. You need to change it more often. And again, it's a work in progress. Trust me, I am still mastering it and finding ways to where it works for me. See what time frame works for you. Maybe buy a different menstrual cup, different brand. Again, trial and error. Does it hurt inserting? Not anymore. The first time, yes, because 1, I was using this fucking thing, and 2, I had never done it before. Now, I just wet it a little bit, slides in, like slides in, okay? It's crazy. Does it ever make your cramps worse? It does for me sometimes. That's interesting. No, I have read that tampons actually make your cramps worse because of the chemicals that are in your tampon. I've never experienced that unless it is inserted the wrong way, or again, it's opened too far down. You need to make sure that it's all the way in so that it's not adding any pressure to your vagina. Do you sleep with one? Yes, every single night that I'm on my period. Do you ever forget you have it in? All the time. I do forget that I have it in sometimes, and I'm like, oh shit, I have to change out my menstrual cup. I've kept it in a long time that I don't want to disclose because I don't want to encourage, you know, no longer than 1 day. Somebody said, is it possible for it to get stuck up there? How do you get it out? It seems so scary. That's the first thing that I googled when I first tried this shit out. Anatomically, it's impossible. There's always a way to get it out. What I do to get it out is take this little guy and I go inside and I go like that. I go all the way in and I make air because the cup is usually suctioned, and then I just squeeze it all the way through, make sure there's airflow in there, and then it usually bends to this. And at this point there's blood coming out of the cup, but it's okay because you're on the toilet and the blood goes in the toilet. We just take it all the way out like this, and at this point it is all the way bent. Sometimes though it comes out completely full still, and then boom, and then you just pour it out. This is the last question that I'm going to answer, but this is one that my friend sent in, Alan, and I think that is a really good question that I need to answer. Using real world figures, how much money have you saved using this? Let's say I bought the Diva cup first thing. It is $37.49 at Target. Let's just say we are buying the tampons that we usually buy, the Tampax Radiant Duo Pack, and that comes with 20 regular, 18 super, and I would probably go through 2/3 of a box each period. That's every single month. So say we're buying a box every month. okay? And that's $9.29 a month. Let's see, we've used the menstrual cup for 1 year. 40 bucks 1 year for the menstrual cup. 114 minus $40 for the menstrual cup. I've saved $74. And I will continue to save money because I'm continuing to use this, which was again $40, and I'm not spending that 10 bucks every single month for a new box of tampons. I do want to also Google how much waste do periods produce. According to the new book Flow, The Cultural History of Menstruation, the average woman throws away 250 to 300 pounds of pads, plugs, which are tampons, and applicators in her lifetime. Pounds. 300 pounds of these things. Knowing all these opinions along with statistics, I hope that's enough to sway the people that I have not swayed into trying out the menstrual cup. Learn from my mistakes and invest your money into the actual Diva cup. I hope I answered some really valuable questions. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you guys for the 2 million views on the menstrual cup video. If you're here after watching that video, thank you for just being down to hear me rant about this even more. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity and for subscribing and watching and everything else. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next period video or a video about anything else. Bye.
Behind it and a few pockets of low pressure and fairly heavy